Here we are in Iola, Kansas. And just up ahead on the left is the Bowlus Fine Arts Center. Yeah, folks seeing this for the first time are just blown away. They can't imagine a town the size of Iola would have anything quite so wonderful. And it was all the gift of one man, this guy, Thomas H. Bowlus. It was his dream, a dream so secret that he shared it with only two others. But then in 1960, just 9 days before Christmas, Tom Bowlus died. And before long, his secret was out. He would be leaving us this, a top-of-the-line facility dedicated to the fine arts. You see, Tom Bowlus believed that the arts were absolutely essential. Every bit as important as science and math, writing, reading, the humanities, even athletics. So he left his money to build this. And he donated the land to build it on. And then he paid for all that stuff that goes inside, like seats and desks and stage lights, pianos. Oh, pianos! 15 of them. And 7 of these were Steinway grand pianos. Oh, and did I tell you he also picked up 15 years of the operation costs? Wow! Where does a guy like this come from? He comes from right here in Iola. Yeah, born here, raised here, lived his entire life here except for one brief move down into Oklahoma Territory. And there he took part in the Cherokee land rush of 1893. But Tom was just a teenager. They don't always know what they want. Soon he would come home. And this is the Iola he returned to. The downtown square was rimmed with stores and businesses. And the streets were filled with people and horses, carriages, even the occasional covered wagon. And right over here, this building, that was the post office. And that's where a 19-year-old Tom Bowlus got his first full-time job. Working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, he was rewarded with a handsome 7 cents an hour. But he stayed there a year and a half, and then he moved over to the Allen County State Bank where he became a cashier. And then, in 1908, Thomas H. Bowlus became the bank's president. You know, for 61 consecutive years, Tom was the city treasurer of Iola. And he could be very generous. Like when Allen County decided to build a hospital, he gave them the land to build it on. And then he threw in a cash donation of what in today's money would be the equivalent of $400,000. And then there was the time he offered the Methodist Church a sum of money to buy a pipe organ. Now, I don't think Tom had any idea of how much a pipe organ costs. And when the committee discovered the price was way more than he had offered, thousands of dollars more, they approached Tom with the bad news. And you know what he said? Without hesitation, get it anyway. And then a little bit later, he bought another pipe organ for the Presbyterians. Some might say Tom was a bit of a joiner. He was a charter member of the Elks and the Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce. Oh, and let's not forget the Country Club. Tom absolutely loved a round of golf. He also loved music. He probably attended every concert he could. Now, one evening at Iola's Memorial Hall, a U.S. military band was playing, and Tom Bowlus was in the audience. And what he heard appalled him. The acoustics were just terrible. Iola really deserves much better than this, and so do the performers. That night, a dream was born. Tom grew up in a house that was built the year of his birth. He had a sister. and 4 brothers, and of course a mother. She's on the left next to her son Tom. Sadly, the house was doomed because Tom specified in his will that the new Fine Arts Center would be built at that very location. So the house had to come down and construction would begin. Missing in this photo is the sign, the Lynn fountain, a couple of plaques, and that Art Deco ornament above the entrance. And finally, in September 1964, just 50 years ago today, the Bowlus Fine Arts and Cultural Center was dedicated. And the dedication speech was given by Tom's good friend and 2-term Kansas City Mayor, H. Roe Bartle. Friends called him the Chief, and Kansas City would honor him by naming their football team the Chiefs. In his final days, Tom Bowlus really worried about whether he'd done the right thing. Would that center be used, he wondered. Would it be used? Used? Well, if you can hear me, Tom Bowlus, I can assure you that place has been busy, busy, busy. Literally thousands of performances have taken place on that stage or downstairs in the recital hall. Did you know they even added an art gallery? Ah, yes, indeed, it's been used. And thank you. Thank you, Tom Bowlus, for this wonderful gift. And to the center itself, we wish a happy 50th anniversary.